Okay, so the song in reference is being posted right now. It's in the processing and all that right now. So it's being uploaded into YouTube right now. Okay, now what was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, that's the song where I wrote the entire song, including the guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and I played every instrument in that recording. And also, I want to mention every recording. So the bass recording, I played the bass line all the way through without stopping. I didn't stop and then like cut and paste in the editing process. So that bass line, I'm playing that bass line all the way through from the start to finish. And same with the drums, playing from start to finish without stopping and cutting and pasting. And the same with the guitar and the vocals. So because I wasn't using software like recording software, I was using Windows Movie Maker. So see, this is another detail. People that don't know how to play guitar, bass, write songs, etc., and they don't know how to record songs, like they don't even know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the bass track and the guitar track and the drum track and the vocals track. So they don't even know what that means, let alone that each one of those tracks, I played it all the way through from start to finish with no editing. So it was the whole thing. Okay. So most people don't even understand what I'm talking about unless they have experience recording and playing guitars and this and that. And so this is my point about how do you know that something is good or not? And when is it time to just admit that I don't know one way or another? Let's say I don't play guitar, I don't play bass, I don't play drums, I've never written a song or none of this stuff, okay? But I like listening to music, okay? And I like what I like, whatever. But at some point, like if I were to get confronted with like, well, how come you don't like Frank Zappa? And I say, well, I just don't like it. It just sounds crappy, you know? It's like, well, what do you know about music? What do you even know about Frank Zappa? At some point, when a person has to admit, they're like, well, to be honest with you, I don't even know anything about Frank Zappa. I don't know any. And it's like, well, did you know that Frank Zappa is regarded as one of like the most fucking, like a fucking god when it comes to writing music and composition and all this stuff, that he's a Frank Zappa is regarded as a music genius among, like, you know, in the world of music. It's like, no, I don't know. So I have to admit, if I don't know I have to, at some point, you know, that's what is called humility, where it's like, no, I don't know anything about how to play guitar or musical genius. I just like what I just listen to what sounds cool to me, you know. It's like, okay, that's fair. That's cool. Whatever. You know. But it's when a person starts acting like they're an expert on something that they know absolutely nothing about, where that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that talk a lot of stuff about shit that they know absolutely nothing about at all. And they don't care. They don't even care that they don't even care if they're stupid. Like if somebody were to prove to them, like, dude, you're actually fucking really stupid, they wouldn't even care to know that. They'd just be like, no, I'm not. I already know I know. You're stupid, motherfucker, you know, whatever. And but anyways, you know, the best definition of stupidity I've ever seen is a person knowing the truth and choosing to reject the truth anyways. That's what stupid is. So it's not so much stupid, it's that they're too smart. They think they're too smart. They think they can outthink shit that they can't, you know. It's like, just acknowledge the truth for what it is instead of lying to yourself and trying to bullshit everybody else. But anyways, so now let's get to, how do you discern like good content on the internet, like YouTube? How do you know if a channel is good or not? You know, how do you know if a channel and the videos that channel puts out are good quality or not? Is there a way to discern? Well, now a lot of that's subjective. Most of it may be, and possibly all of it is subjective. But I would argue that it's not all subjective. And because here are some things. If a person is a liar, then their content sucks. But the thing is, if they're a good liar and they're good at deceiving people, well, then you don't even know their content sucks. So you think it's good and you don't even know it sucks. But that is a definite rule. That's a hard and fast rule. If the person is a liar, their fucking content sucks, because all it is, it's all bullshit. It's just like that guy that said, it doesn't matter how good you are at your music instrument. If you're an asshole, you're never going to make it in the business of music. And maybe that's what happened to P. Diddy. It looked like he was making it for a while there, and then bam. But anyways, yeah, how do you tell good content from content that isn't good? Well, so honesty. If they're truly honest, that's good content. I don't care if they look disheveled and if they're homeless. If they're being honest, that's good. If they're being a shill, grifting shill, that's bad. Okay? So in this sense, it's very easy to discern. But it also requires, in order to discern good content from shitty content on YouTube and Odyssey and Rumble and BitChute, requires self-honesty. A person has to be honest with themselves in order to discern what content on YouTube is good, quality shit, and what content is fucking just diarrhea. Requires self-honesty. It's like, I can listen to, going back to using music as an analogy, I can listen to music that I don't like, but still appreciate them and be like, dude, it happens. It totally happens. Okay, for example, if I'm on my job and I'm driving across country and there's no music, so I have to listen to the radio. Okay? Well, I might be skipping through the channels and there's like some real jazz playing on 88.9 or something. And even though I don't feel like listening to it and I don't want to listen to it, and I may not even like it, depends on what it is, I still know those motherfuckers are badass musicians, and I got nothing on those guys because I don't know how to play jazz. Jazz is not necessarily an easy thing to do. So, I know it's good, I just don't listen to it. Or I don't want to listen to it, I don't feel like listening to it. I could even skip through a jazz song and only hear like 5 seconds or less of it and already know that's good while I'm changing the channel because I want to listen to AC/DC or something. But I don't want to listen to that. And okay, I mean, so, and I've had this happen, like the Grateful Dead. When I first just truly discovered the Grateful Dead, I didn't really like their music. I just liked that they were musical geniuses. But then, when I discovered when I got to experience the Grateful Dead, everything Grateful Dead, where I got to actually go to a concert and everything, and because there's way more to the Grateful Dead than just listening to a song on the radio or hearing a tape or something. When I got to get the full Grateful Dead experience, it's like, I don't think I've ever fallen in love with a band like the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead stole my fucking heart, dude. Totally. And I'm a metalhead. I'm a full-on, like, metalhead. I'm a fucking Hesher who had my heart stolen by fucking none other than the great fucking hippie fucking dippy Grateful Dead. That's because they're geniuses. They're musical geniuses. But when I first was listening to them, the only reason I listened to them is because I wanted to, I knew they were musical geniuses, and I wanted to understand how to become a musical genius. I didn't really necessarily like a lot of their songs. I just liked the idea of listening to musical geniuses to try to absorb that genius, try to figure out how can I absorb this. I want to be a musical genius too, you know. But anyways, yeah, good content from bad content. Like, you know, how do you discern good content from bad content? And I will say there are a few hard, fast rules. And one of them is the content creator honest? Is their content honest? Does it have integrity? If so, then it's good. You may not like it, but it doesn't mean it's bad. Okay? Whereas content that's deceitful and dishonest and shilly, and it can be entertaining to watch. That doesn't mean it's good. You see? It's like I was scrolling through YouTube and I see this video where it just looks like some Joe Blow like me. It's not like a well-produced video. It's just, you can tell that it's just some shitty cell phone. And they just have it set right here, and they're just talking. And it's a chick, and she looks all disheveled, and she's heavy set. She's probably 100 pounds overweight. She looks disheveled and unkept. You know, maybe even like a dirty shirt. And she's sitting in some, like you could tell, like the room she was in, it wasn't a very nice place she was staying, and it wasn't homey at all. It was just kind of like whatever. And I watched her video, and it was good. And she talked about a DMT experience and how she was involved with she was into all this like satanic witch spell casting, and then she had a really bad DMT trip, and she was getting raped by demons and all this shit, and it fucking drove her away from the witch cult she was in. And it was a good story, and it was inspiring, and she was being honest. I mean, it may not have been all hyped. See, that's the thing. There's buzz and there's hype. And you got to know the difference between buzz and hype. Hype is shit. Buzz is good. Buzz is authentic, real. It's like an authentic, real thing where like people are drawn to it because there's something that's just authentic and good about it. Like, whereas hype is where they pull out all the bells and whistles, and they put the pop. They talk about what's popular. They're doing the latest trendy thing, and they're trying to, they're really promoting it and stuff. Well, that's hype. Hype is shit. Buzz is good. Like Thelonious Monk said, don't do what people want. Do what you want. Let the people catch on. And if you listen to Thelonious Monk, he's a piano player, and his piano shit is like nothing you've ever heard before. It's like, what is this? What the fuck am I listening to, right? Because he went way, way outside the box. He gave everybody the finger. He's just like, fuck you. Like, his shit was like the most insane fucking piano playing you'll probably ever hear in your life. And he didn't give a fuck. And everybody hated it. This sucks. This is crap, right? But see, but it caught a buzz. It probably took a long time, but eventually it caught on to people. And people started listening to this like, what is this? And then it started drawing them to it. And they started so it created an organic buzz where people organically were just drawn to it because they were like, what the fuck is this? And it, minus all the hype and all the dumb shit, is just him playing what he wanted. Fuck you. And then after a while they came around, and he became one of the greats, man. But he wasn't trying to play what people wanted to hear. He wasn't playing what's popular, what's trendy, and he was just doing whatever he wanted. And it basically is like giving everybody the finger, like, fuck you. Don't listen to me. I don't care. Go get the fuck away from me if you don't like what I'm playing. And that's the kind of shit I like. I like YouTube videos where it's not just the same old fucking shit you see in popular and trending on BitChute and everything. I'm sick. Every time something new becomes popular, I'm automatically like, this is fucking trash. I'll listen to it because you always have to keep an open mind. You see, what is that saying? What is that saying is, contempt prior to investigation will lead a man into everlasting ignorance. So I'll investigate trends and shit that's popular, but it's always the same. It's always the same. You can see right through it almost immediately. You can tell it's astroturfed. It's not a real organic movement that's happening at all. It's totally astroturfed with a bunch of hype. And then all these people pile onto it like, oh wow, this is in trending, therefore it must be trendy. Oh, this is unpopular, therefore it must be popular. And they just just everything's controlled through fashion trends. So again, how can you tell what like videos on YouTube, what channels are good on YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute? How can you tell which ones are good and which ones are diarrhea, which ones are just shit? I mean, if you've never noticed, there is a lot of diarrhea in the trending sections on these platforms. There is a lot of diarrhea in the popular sections in these platforms. You don't find that odd at all? You don't find that a little curious where you're like watching this and you're thinking, this isn't really that good. And then you go in the comment section and everybody's hyping it up like, man, that was a great video. Let's discuss the ins and outs of what this video is about, and just go on. And there's all these comments and you're sitting there looking at it going, I didn't really think this, what is the deal? And so then you just move on. You're like, whatever, you know. But what is good and what isn't? You know, it's just an interesting thing to me. So anyway, that's it.